You're sitting on your couch, phone in your hand, and there is not a single wire connected to it. Somehow, a photo your friend just took shows up right there on your screen, almost like it came out of nowhere. How does that actually happen? To understand this, we need to talk about waves again, but a different kind. Right now, your phone is sending out a wave, spreading out in every direction, just like ripples on a pond. But unlike sound, this wave does not need air to travel through. It can move through empty space, and it travels at the speed of light. Here is the problem, though. A wave that stays exactly the same, going up and down in the same pattern forever, does not actually say anything. It is like a blank sheet of paper, with nothing written on it. So if you want to send a real message, a photo, a text, a video, you first need to do something to that wave. And here is the trick. You change the wave on purpose, in a pattern that means something. A tall part here, a short pause there, another tall part right after. It is a lot like Morse code, but instead of flashing a light on and off, you are reshaping an invisible wave. Before any of that happens, though, a small chip takes your message, the photo, and turns it into a long sequence made of just two symbols, repeated over and over. Think of it as a string of filled dots and empty dots. That is really all a computer needs. Just two options, repeated enough times to describe anything at all, a photo, a song, even a video. Once that sequence exists, the chip writes it onto the wave, and a tiny antenna, just a thin rod, starts vibrating in that exact pattern. The wave spreads out in every direction, and it passes right through walls, something sound could never do on its own. On the other side of the room, another antenna, maybe the one inside your router, picks up that tiny ripple arriving through the air and hands the pattern over to its own chip. That chip reads the sequence of filled dots and empty dots, one by one, and rebuilds the original photo from it, piece by piece, until the whole picture appears, complete, right there on the screen. Now, you might wonder why your Wi-Fi and your neighbor's Wi-Fi do not mix into a mess. Each router actually vibrates at a slightly different frequency, kind of like radio stations picking different numbers on a dial. As long as everyone uses a different number, the patterns never get confused with each other. But there is a limit to all of this. The farther that wave has to travel, or the more walls it has to pass through, the weaker it gets. That is exactly why your Wi-Fi gets slower, or disappears completely, once you walk out to the far end of the yard. So let's put it all together. First, the message gets written into a pattern. Then that pattern rides on an invisible wave, sent out in every direction. And finally, someone on the other side reads that pattern back, turning it into a photo again. That is the whole secret behind Wi-Fi, sending information through thin air without a single wire. If you learned something new today, subscribe for more videos just like this one.